I'm just prepping you guys for what's coming this whole next month. It's going to be, the politicized Supreme Court. It is, of course, a lie. I'm going to give you all the arguments right here in this episode. So remember this. Here's the Hill. Trump, 14th Amendment, put Supreme Court on the spot. 14th Amendment is the insurrection clause. So whose fault is it? Decisions kicking former President Trump off the ballot in 2 states, Colorado and Maine, are amping up the pressure on the Supreme Court to resolve questions about Trump's eligibility under the 14th Amendment. Now, I just want to go back to the cause. Whose fault is that? The looming decisions for the Supreme Court risk thrusting the justices into the political spotlight at a fraught time for the nation's highest court, which has already been forced to confront other matters implicating Trump and the future of the 2024 race. Again, who is doing these radical accusations against Trump that forced them up to the Supreme Court? Is that the Supreme Court getting involved where they shouldn't? Legal experts long anticipated the patchwork of challenges would reach the Supreme Court, which have never squarely resolved the meaning of the 14th Amendment's insurrection ban. So this is good. We have to figure it out at the court. It's time. It finally got floated up there, with many observers believing the justices will ultimately keep Trump's name on the ballot one way or another. Why? Because number one, he didn't perform insurrection. On another note, I just want to say that this language is very much like when Pence was looking at the alternate electors. They went back into all this legal case theory saying, does Pence have the ability to agree with a second list of electors, which Trump wanted him to pursue on night of January 6th. And they looked at the legal theory going, John Eastman goes, this is an odd long shot, but it's there in the documents. And it's never been completely ironed out that Pence did not have the ability to pick an alternate bunch of electors, which, by the way, is why months after this, all of the Congress passed another law clarifying it, saying that the vice president does not have the right to go with an alternate number of electors. There. So they cleared it up. This one needs to be cleared up, and it will be by the Supreme Court. In Colorado and Maine, the only states to rule Trump ineligible so far, his name will remain on the ballot while he appeals. So big deal. His name's on the ballot. Good. Both states hold primaries on Super Tuesday, which will fall on March 5th. So both Colorado and Maine, let's face it, they already knew they would lose this. It's why they really left his name on. They just wanted to throw a tantrum up to the Supreme Court. Yes, they have to blend. And I also put Colorado in a different category as Maine. Colorado, look, you had state Supreme Court justices on Colorado deliberate this thing, and they had a split. Maine is different, is a different kind of fraud. This Shenna Bellows lady is unelected. She's appointed. There's nothing to her. She worked all by herself on this to remove. One lady removed Trump's name off a ballot. That's just fraud. That's terrible. Trump on Tuesday formally appealed Maine Secretary of State is Shenna Bellows' Democrat decision. Under the state law, the judge is bound to decide the case within 20 days of her decision. So this one's coming, the state. In the meantime, Colorado and Maine rulings have been viewed as political gift to the Trump campaign. Yes, we'll take the victory. Thank you. Even some of the former president's critics have suggested Trump's fate on the ballot should be determined by voters, while Trump's allies have seized on the decisions as further evidence the establishment figure are biased against him and want to keep him out of office. So Trump fans just won, and Trump's opponents just joined in defending Trump. Big win for Trump is the bottom line of this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Trump rival Nikki Haley in the primary race said Sunday, quote, everybody just hopes that the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, gets involved, overturns what Maine and Colorado are trying to do, make sure Trump is on the ballot in 50 states, and we move on. Yeah, I agree. But such a ruling would likely only reinforce the sense among some Americans, Democrats in particular, that the Supreme Court is increasingly weighing into political issues. How can this possibly be the Supreme Court's fault for weighing in on this political issue where they're removing candidates' names? They're breaking the law, and the Supreme Court decides what the the law meant and what its intent was. A September Gallup poll found just 41% of Americans approve of the Supreme Court's job performance, which is higher than Biden, Congress, and mainstream media. So they're already doing better. However, near a record low of 40% set in September of 2021, gotta say, doesn't matter. That's why these are lifetime appointments. It does not matter how popular Supreme Court justices are. It's not a popularity contest, guys. It's an appointment, and it's a lifetime appointment to prevent exactly this. The other two branches of government, president, Congress, they are supposed to be influenced by votes. Supreme Court is not. So I don't care how popular they are. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you want to hear more of this wonky Supreme Court material in future shows? I'm Doug in Exile.